Hi, this is John Hawkins Jr. and this is video number 8 in my series on addiction. This will be the final video in this series. And what I wanted to talk to you today about is this fourth remaining module that I spoke of. We had the first one, which was integrating and processing all this dissociated memories, emotions, thoughts, parts of self, finishing my emotional development. Part 2 was clearing positive, pleasurable, implicit using memories from the nervous system. Part 3 was shifting old disruptive attachment patterns so I can securely connect with people. And part 4 today is working on positive core survival needs that got associated with a certain behavior, substance, or person. I'd like to give you credit to a gentleman named Robert Miller, who developed a thing called the feeling state protocol. And I was fortunate enough to train with him personally and really got to learn a lot about this process. He terms these core needs survival needs. So the examples would be the need to connect, to feel safe, to belong, to have some agency, some control and power in my environment, to feel alive, and that there'll be a deficit in one of these core needs. And then the highest level we get at, the highest felt sense we ever experience, whatever that is, or whoever gave that to us, or whatever substance gave it to us, will get fused with the subcortical brain. To that, whatever that thing was. So then my subcortical brain says that's the only way to get that. So cortically, our rational brain knows there's other ways to achieve that, but it will not learn it in the subcortical brain. So an example I use all the time is if I felt like a loser my whole life and I didn't feel important, I had significance, and I go to a casino one day and I win this huge pot, and all of a sudden I feel like I matter, I have significance, I'm important, and all of a sudden my subcortical brain fuses that together. So now I'm, a successful adult guy, and I just can't stop compulsive gambling now. I know I'm gonna lose my wife, my children, my business, but I just keep doing it because it's a core survival need. I have to do it, and it's fused with this. So what he developed in his protocol is a way to identify what that core need was, get the client to get a felt sense of it in the room, and then through, in his case, EMDR, I use an integration of EMDR, brain spotting, and other things. You're able to break that, in my experience, could be anywhere from like 5 minutes to 25, 30 minutes. You can completely undo that association. I did a session this week with a client, and they had an obsessing about shooting cocaine intravenously, and which is a very powerful experience. So after we were able to identify what the core need was, and there's also things like that, or heroin, which can kind of create its own feeling state of euphoria in and of itself. We did about 15 minutes of the therapy I do, and completely broke her obsession. She went from I just can't stop obsessing about this to like I have no desire to do it whatsoever in 15 minutes. And it's almost impossible for people to believe. Anyone that doesn't believe it wants to challenge me on it, feel free to contact me, jonh@gatewaycounseling.com. I will speak to you about that. If you want to experience that, it's mind-blowing, amazing, cutting-edge work. So again, I'd like to give gratitude for his work that influenced mine in that area. So it's really just about identifying those things subcortically and resolving them. That it's unbelievable. I mean, I've had people obsessed about a person, and we do some of this therapy and they just could care less about the person anymore. Now there's usually more than like one feeling state or one issue, and so it's just having the time to really identify all the targets that need to be cleared and then work that out. But addiction is a neurological problem. No matter where you believe, whatever initially triggers what's happening neurologically, whether it's a relationship, spirituality, an event, it still ends up at the end of the line a neurological issue. You cannot change these things by just having conversations about them and sitting around in groups talking about stuff. I've worked with a couple thousand people, and I can just tell you what works and what doesn't. And so I hope if you've been watching this series and watching these videos, you would just really spread the word that there is a way to treat and heal from addiction, and the way we do it now is not the way. It is, hands down, I don't even see how anyone can debate it. Statistically, I mean, it's just, it does not work. I mean, just because a few people get sober here and there, and I would question their sobriety, that they're maybe not shooting heroin or cocaine, but they're, you know, compulsively watching porn, compulsively being in relationships, binge eating, obese, running up credit cards, online gambling. You know, there's just a whole lot more to it than drugs and alcohol, and none of that stuff is the problem. That's the copings for the problem. And it's just, things have to get changed on a deeper level. We know how to do that now. We have to fight two things: ignorance, which is lack of knowledge, information, and dogma. You know, people, just like any religion or anything else, are married. Science is just as dogmatic as religion. People are married to their way of doing things, are not open. I'm willing to throw away anything at any time based on truth and reality. So please, if you have any heart for helping addicts, for helping people, my goal, my mission, putting out these videos and everything I'm doing is to change the way we treat addiction around the world, because so many lives are at stake. I've put so much potential into the ground. You know, so many young people, so many people that had amazing families, opportunities, were talented, gifted, are just 6 feet under with no potential ever being manifest. It's a loss to us. It's a loss to the world, what they could have brought to the world. So again, I implore everyone, please spread this message, let people know there's a better way, and all we have to do is get the word out there and overcome some of the powers that be to really help people and spread this message around the world. So I appreciate it if you do that. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I hope this has been informative, this whole series, thought-provoking, whether you enjoyed it, whether it angered you, whatever it is, great, at least during the game, and you care on some level. So just want to express my appreciation again. I look forward to more videos in the future that you can catch us on YouTube or Gateway Counseling Center, on Facebook, jonh@gatewaycounseling.com, the Mind Zone group on Facebook, Instagram, Gateway C Center. Keep, like I said, spreading the message, spreading the word that there's a better way. Thank you.